Ares stands as Marvel's purest battlefield god. Ares doesn't control wars, but he is the war. He's the Olympian god of war, born from Zeus and Hera, and he exists for one thing only: physical combat. No reality hacks, no cosmic authority, just strength, speed, endurance, and endless bloodlust. Ares doesn't plan wars from a throne, he steps into them and starts swinging. He lifts over 100 tons without effort and shatters mountains when rage takes over, fights Hulk to a standstill, and tanks gamma blasts head on. Ares slaughters entire armies by himself and tears through Iron Man's armor in close combat, and clashes with Hercules empowered by the entire pantheons, and survives celestial level explosions during god-scale wars. If a fight turns physical, Ares thrives in it, but here's the problem. You think endless violence makes him unstoppable, and it doesn't. Ares bleeds, weapons cut him, enough enemies can overwhelm him. His bloodlust blind strategy and his personal grudges get him killed again and again. He can't shape reality, enforce laws, or control outcomes beyond the battlefield. Ares belongs at level 1 because his power ends where fighting ends. And if this is the strongest god who still has to swing a weapon, the next level doesn't fight wars, it rules everything around them. Level 2, Ruling Gods, Doctor Doom. At level 2, Doctor Doom not only overpowers earthly gods, but also outplays them too. Victor Von Doom doesn't come from prophecy or cosmic destiny, he comes from pure obsession. He rules Latveria as an absolute dictator, masters science beyond Iron Man, and studies dark magic until even sorcerers take him seriously. Doom doesn't borrow power, he builds, steals, or forces it into submission. He wears armor that functions as a throne, a weapon, and a spell circle all at once. His tech tanks Hulk's punches and shrugs off Iron Man's weapons. His magic lets him summon demons and drain the power cosmic straight from Silver Surfer. He steals Galactus's world ship, hijacks infinity-level knowledge, overrules Scarlet Witch's chaos magic, and even reshapes reality as God Emperor Doom. Doom doesn't just defeat gods, he rules them. But here's the problem. You think Doom's power makes him unstoppable, but actually it makes him fragile. Doom needs preparation, he needs armor, he needs time. Without planning, his power collapses, his magic drains him, and smarter opponents outmaneuver him. Every godhood he steals eventually slip through his fingers. Doom belongs at level 2 because he controls reality through rule, not necessity. And if this is what power looks like when someone controls gods, the next level doesn't rule the universe, it exists beyond the universe needs it. Level 3, Cosmic Forces, Phoenix Force. At level 3, control disappears completely. The Phoenix Force isn't a god, a ruler, or a villain, it exists as a primordial cosmic force born from the Big Bang itself. It represents life, death, passion, and rebirth, not symbolically, but literally. Without the Phoenix, the universe stops evolving and starts rotting in place. It doesn't rule reality, it keeps reality moving. The Phoenix repairs the Macran crystal and prevents all of existence from unraveling. It consumes stars and triggers supernovas without hesitation. As Dark Phoenix, it wipes out entire civilizations in moments. It overwhelms empires, burns celestial embryos out of existence, and outmatches Galactus in raw power. At its peak, it restructures the white-hot room, the core engine of the multiverse itself. When Phoenix acts, reality doesn't argue. Reality adapts or dies. But here's the terrifying part. You think that kind of power comes with control, and it doesn't. The Phoenix needs hosts to act. It follows instinct, not judgment. It destroys as easily as it creates, and never stops choosing between them. Unchecked, it becomes catastrophe incarnate. That's why it sits at level 3. Doom rules reality, the Phoenix keeps it alive. Level 4, Reality Makers, Franklin Richards. With the recent release of the Fantastic Four, we got the god that belongs at this level. He creates new universes, though he looks like a normal kid. He plays, he argues with his parents, and he grows up inside the Fantastic Four. But his mutant power doesn't bend reality, it is reality. His thoughts turn into physical law. His imagination turns into matter, energy, space, and time. Franklin doesn't need artifacts, rituals, or preparation. He thinks and existence follows. He creates pocket universes complete with planets, histories, and living beings. Builds entire realities where Galactus exists as a functioning cosmic entity. Not only this, he can turn celestial attacks into harmless objects mid-strike. As an adult, he helps rebuild the multiverse itself and stabilize collapsing cosmic system. When Franklin acts, the universe doesn't resist. It simply becomes what he decides. But here's the scary part. You think that makes him untouchable, and it doesn't. Franklin's power depends on his emotional state. Fear, stress, or overload can shut him down completely. His own father limits his abilities to prevent reality from tearing itself apart. Without control, Franklin doesn't just lose fights, he risks breaking everything. Franklin belongs at level 4 because he doesn't rule reality, he is reality, one universe at a time. Level 5, reality judges, Master, Order, and Chaos. Master, Order, and Lord Chaos doesn't create universes, they pass judgment on them. Master, Order, and Lord Chaos exist as living concepts. Order represents structure, symmetry, and stability. Chaos represents entropy, change, and collapse. Together, they don't rule a single universe, they oversee balance across all of them. They don't ask what someone can do, they ask whether reality itself stays stable afterward. They confront Thanos while he holds the Infinity Gauntlet and judge his use of godhood. One time, they merged into Logos and blasted the living tribunal out of existence. Both of them overpower Lifebringer Galactus and force him back into his old role, and deploy servants like the Inbetweener to correct cosmic disasters across timelines. When they act, gods don't argue, gods answer. But here's the catch. You'd expect beings like this to stand above everything, and they don't. Order and chaos can only regulate, correct, or erase reality. Their dual nature limits them, and higher authorities can overrule their decisions. Even their fused form eventually breaks apart under challenge. They belong at level 5 because judgment outranks existence, but creation still outranks level 6 beyond reality, oblivion. Oblivion doesn't live inside the universe exists on borrowed time inside him. He doesn't rule anything or create worlds or balance systems, he exists as non-existence itself, the void that existed before the first universe and waits after the last one collapses. Eternity represents everything that exists. Oblivion represents everything that doesn't yet. He doesn't stand in reality, reality ends where he begins. Oblivion absorbs being erased from time itself, including paradox victims that even the universe forgets. He empowers avatars like Maelstrom and Death Urge to unravel cosmic structures from the outside. He forces truces with eternity, infinity, and death, not through strength, but inevitability. He unravels timelines during conflicts with Molecule Man and pulls entire outcomes towards nothingness. When Oblivion moves, no army responds, no gods resist, everything simply fates. You'd expect something this final to act constantly, and it doesn't. Oblivion cannot create. He cannot directly exist inside reality without causing paradoxes. He relies on avatars and fragile cosmic agreements to avoid ending everything too early. Oblivion belongs at level 6 because he exists beyond judgment, balance, and creation. Reality doesn't fight him, and if this is what power looks like when existence ends, the final level doesn't wait for the universe to disappear, it decides that it exists at all. Level 7, the creator, the one above all. At level 6, reality ends, and on level 7, reality starts. The one above all doesn't control existence, he decides that existence happens at all. The one above all sits above every hierarchy you've seen so far. He doesn't rule universes, judge realities, or wait for entropy. He creates everything. The multiverse, the abstracts, the rules, and even the idea of power itself. Every god, force, and concept exists because he allows it. Sometimes he appears as Jack Kirby, sometimes as Stan Lee, sometimes as a normal man having a quiet conversation. That isn't symbolism, that's the point. He restores reality after total collapse without effort, resurrects cosmic entities like the living tribunal with a decision. He allows universes to end and permits them to restart. Every multiversal crisis traces back to his design, whether characters understand it or not. Nothing surprises him, nothing resists him, nothing exists outside his awareness. But here's the strange part. You'd expect someone this powerful to fight, but he never does. He chooses restraint because conflict only exists for those inside creation. He belongs at level 7 because no escalation exists beyond authorship. Void waits. Judgment balances. Reality exists. Creation decides. And if you think this hierarchy was wild, wait till you see how DC handles gods in our 7 levels of DC Gods Explained.